I've introduced to you this new space, this new entity, this new being. I want you to refer to this podcast as an entity on its own. Initially, this podcast is not in this physical world, so it's coming from a place of an idea, and I'm putting it into this world. I'm creating it, so it's an entity. I'm urging you guys to help me treat her with love and care and compassion as you would treat something of your own too. So when you listen to an episode of this podcast, that episode invoking emotions or inspiring you to find your own truth in this universe, that episode, I want you to remember that episode started from a place of non-existence in the physical world. It's just an idea that's seated in my mind, and I put in the efforts, the conscious efforts and good intentions to create and package it with love and get it to you. So let me treat it with that same compassion and treat it with love and package it and help me share that podcast. Hello everyone, welcome to No Filters with Baari. This is your host. My name's Adigun Abdul Bari. Let's get to it, guys. So this is the intro episode for this podcast, and it's a very special episode for me because we are going to be talking about what this podcast is, what the podcast is going to be about. Starting with the name, No Filters with Barry. The with Barry basically just means the show is being run by me. So added my name to it, and the no filters also literally means what it means. On this podcast, on this space, there are going to be no filters, man. No filters at all. I'll be saying things the way I actually view them. I'll be sharing my perspective, my uncensored, unfiltered perspective on different matters, different topics. In my life, my interest actually spans a range of areas. So expect to see different type of topics, different type of conversations coming on this podcast. I'll be trying my best to bring exciting hosts. Yeah, some of my friends have already jumped on the episode for this season, and I have a couple exciting guests for you guys. So watch out. That's basically the meaning of the name. Moving on to what the aim of the podcast is. You'll get that better if you kind of like get the story of how I came to decide to start the podcast. Sometimes last year, 2023, September. Yeah, when I go back to Ibadan. So me personally, I'm an Ibadan boy, born and bred. But I went out, like outside of the state, to study. So I wasn't really in Ibadan. So I left my childhood friends and people I grew up with. I wasn't really with them. So after school, I came back to Ibadan. So linking up with these guys, I think it was like the first weekend that I actually like went to the area I grew up in Ibadan. So we went out to watch Manchester United match together. Yeah, it was fun. Like I missed them, I missed the company, and like having to spend that time with them was really fun. So the way we were like discussing the football and everything just got me like, this is a podcast right here. And to note, I've actually had the experience of on how to produce a podcast effectively, mainly audio. I think to know this podcast is going to be mainly audio for now, and the goal where I would like this podcast to be is with video and a lot of visuals. But as I was saying, I already learned how to produce a podcast like effectively with very low capital. So I not only learned, I did it when I was in school. I think my last year in university, I had a podcast with a group of my friends back in Ilorin. So it was fun. It was fun. I really enjoyed the process. The experience of going to watch that match with my friends and the way it was just funny. I mean, man, you actually lost that match, but it didn't feel like we lost because everybody was just saying, Rashford, bastard, Kidiko, like, but the way we were like saying it was funny and just made us forget the pain of the loss. So that was when it hit me like, bam, this is a podcast right here, and my guys are very funny. You see them now, the way they will talk about different stuffs, like they were making jokes. I don't want to, when you do hand me down of jokes, they are not really that funny. So I don't want to repeat their jokes. I want to bring them on here. What we're doing on this space, number one, let me first say it number one, because that was how I came about. Like, that was when the inspiration hit me to actually start and move and do this podcast. It was during a football analysis, a football match analysis and like review with my friends. So number one thing I'll be doing on this podcast is football analysis and review. On the next episode, that will be doing European Football League review recap from like the beginning of 2023 to 2024 so far, since this podcast is starting 2024. So we should just do like a catch up on what has been happening on the scene, on the European football scene. So two of them, I think, should be this next episode. But as I was saying, number one, sports. So football review. If basketball news comes up, because I'm an avid basketball fan too, so I'll add that. Number two, music. God, I love music, so it's a big part of my life. I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't actually like listen to music. I use music for almost all my activities. So when I say music, Afro beats, I'll be doing a lot of music commentary on this podcast. I'll be bringing to you premium music reviews, like music commentary, so new music, artist shout outs and everything. Like artists you should add to your watch list and you should look out for new artists on the scene, and music you never thought you could enjoy. I'll be bringing them to you. I think when Rema dropped, Rema is one of the most controversial artists to have jumped on the African music scene in the past decade. He is, if he's not number one, he is top two. But when it dropped back in 2019, I think, when it dropped, there was mixed reception to his music, as there is like mixed receptions to Charlie Poppy's music right now. People shouldn't fuck around. Charlie Poppy is here to stay. There were like a section of people that accepted Rema's music, like that they accepted and like the vibe, like, yo, this new vibe, this new energy is real. This sound is solid, is real. But then there's this other section of people that were like, who be this one where they sing like India like this? Which is this one they sing? Mad. And I actually believe that is normal. Like when you introduce something new, something different to a group of people, then you're definitely bound to see a sect of them rejecting it and not accepting it. That just shows and that just attests to the originality of that product. And Rema is original. It's as original as the corn. HIM. HOV. They talk say no be me be HOV. Okay, now you can't tell me now who. Make anything no go tell me man. He's talking his shit and I like it. Yeah, and one of the reasons I started this podcast is because I realized when I'm able to like interact with people and it sticks. My point is I realize I'm able to hold weighted conversations with people and conversations that I believe other people can also learn from, because I usually learn. I usually have something to take away from whatever conversations I'm having. So I'm chasing that P and I'm aiming and I'm hoping my audience is going to learn from these conversations. They are going to take big from these conversations. Do you get? It's nothing serious. It's nothing serious. It's just that I know you learn and you'll be inspired to find your own truth in this world. If I was poked and asked to describe this podcast, well, like in one word, how would I describe it? I would say entertainment. See, forget. I've been saying conversation to inspire, conversation to inspire. No, even the conversation that will inspire you has to be entertaining, to be involved in, to engage, like draw you in. But also pure entertainment. I'm bringing pure entertainment. I'm bringing music. I'll be doing a lot of music reviews, like music commentary. In preparing this podcast, I've realized that there's a very thin line between copyright infringement and fair use. I will just be trying my best to stay within the line of fair use of music products, because I know these artists are putting in a lot of work. In some way, I'm an artist too, and I know what it takes to produce a content or any intellectual property. You get? So I'm not aiming to rip off anybody of their work, their sweat, and their money. I'm not trying to do that. But I try my best to stay within fair use. I will be sharing and recommending movies, and my takeaways from those movies are going to be a point of conversation. Somewhere we can start a conversation around and discuss. Some of my episodes are going to be solo. Most are going to be with hosts. I want to meet different people and have convos with them. In all I do, I chase excellence, and I want to take you guys along with me. Only me and you. Only me and you. Okay. So that's it for about the podcast. I think you guys get the gist. So I've introduced you to my podcast, No Filters. This is my audience. My audience means no filters. So about the host, the name is not No Filters with Barry now. So with me, which is I am Barry. Abdul Barry. Let me start with that because I explained the name of the podcast. So I'm kind of like going to explain my name, which I know is going to be confusing to a lot of the audience, as it has always been. I've been little. I've always had errors, encounters, confrontations about my name. I've had lots of different violations done to my name. I went to Clay and they taught me Arabic, and then they taught me the meaning of my name, how my name is written. So I was, due to the fact that I had that knowledge is important, it is power. Due to the fact that I had that knowledge of how my name is spelled and how it is pronounced, I was able to now connote together of, okay, this is how I want my name to be written, which is Bari, and the proper pronunciation for my name is Bari, exactly pronounced how it is written. It is Barry. So it is No Filters with Barry. Thank you very much. Let's move on from my name. So, who is Barry? Barry is a young Nigerian facing life. Adulting. Yeah, I'll say Barry is adulting. I mean, it doesn't complain, but it is fucked up. Life is fucked up. It is what it is. I mean, but we have to face it. Yeah. I grew up in Ibadan, as I said earlier. Let me start from my secondary school, junior secondary school. I went to Loyola College, Ibadan. So if you're an alumni, shout out to you as you're listening to this. Loyo boys, all my Loyo boys. I love you guys. I mean, it was fun. That was one of the most epic memory of my childhood, being a Loyola student. So from Loyola College, I went to School of Science, Bade. Yeah, spent another 3 years there. So that was where I did my SS1 to SS3. So like top-notch science program. Yeah, that was gave me a strong foundation for my science knowledge, and I wasn't the best student, but I did try. Those are the schools I went. So from Bade, I went to University of Ilorin and I studied physiology. So you've got a bit of my life, educational life basically. I think as time goes by with the podcast, you're going to know more about me. Yeah. Not being ready to go for NYSC yet is what led to me being in IB and then spending time with my friends and then having the inspiration to start the podcast. And when I go to IB, I kind of like, I would say I was opportuned to meet a person that has been like a mentor to me in like the investments game and life generally. He's a businessman. He still is. I have an episode with him on this podcast, so look out for the episode. It was a fun conversation. It's one of those people that are described as success story, like interviews that aim to explore people's journey to the top. I met this person and I started learning things about real estate, where to invest, how to verify the authenticity of a land, where to buy, who to buy from. So all those things. So basically, I'm a real estate guy. I have an Instagram page dedicated to my real estate journey, and you guys can follow me there at evolverealty.ng, evolverealty.ng. Evolve coming from the meaning of my name. Let me take you along on my real estate journey and let me also help you start your own. Invest, guys. Start early. Just invest generally. Real estate is just one means of investing. Just cultivate the habit of investing. Talking about my interests and passion. Number one would have to be sports. Yeah, I love sports a lot. Number two would have to be music. Music makes me feel like nothing else exists. It kind of like takes me to the space and drops me right in the middle of space where there is nothing else for miles. I look to my right and I'm not on earth and there's nothing. Music is real and it's dangerous. It's a weapon, as all the great artists have said. Fela said so. Don't play with music. Just don't.
Music is a spiritual thing. You don't play with music. If you play with music, you will die young. You see, because when the higher forces give you the gift of music, musicianship, it must be well used for the good of humanity. If you use it for your own self by deceiving people or doing this, you will die young. You see, and I've told people this many
I will
times.
name drop one artist. The day that artist is a goal. I'm chasing this goal. This moment is special to me. It's legit because I'm about to make an affirmation that by God's grace, inshallah, God willing, is going to come through. Let's do it. I'm going to name drop one artist that I'm going to make it my goal to actually get him on my show sooner or later. I don't know how long it wants to take. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
Only let me say something. Maybe no. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. And maybe not the next month. But only one thing is true. I will be champion one day. I promise. I promise.
So this artist I want to drop his name. Might be tomorrow, might be next year. But one day, I know he's going to be on my show. The number one artist I want to have on my show is Seyi Balogun, Mr. Seyi Vibes. It's not about who is better than who, and it's not about who is more successful than who. It is my love for Seyi Vibes, and it is also my intrigue, my interest in his artistry, in how he goes about making his music. I'm just blown away. Like, who is this guy? And a lot of music, a lot of people listen to his music and they go like, Afro Adura Lonko. I mean, they say that at the tip of their tongue, but they are actually describing a soulful experience. When you relate someone's music to prayer, to manifestations, to affirmations, then basically, I think you are describing soulful music. His music is powerful. Artists like Odumodu Black, Charlie Poppy, all these artists are the people that have kind of like impressed me the most in the past 5 years in the industry, I think. Yeah. So those artists are goals for me. any one of them that I'm able to bring on this show, God, let that day come. Let that day come. If you have a friend that's an artist that does music and legit is good, let's promote his stuff. Send me his details, send me his music. We'll find a way we can like have an episode. I'm open to collaborations right now. So that's how you guys can support me. Link me up with exciting hosts, people that have success stories that you know need to get out there. Link me up with them. Email talk to us at nofilterswithbarry at gmail. Follow this podcast at nf on X, on TikTok, no filters with Barry. Share your review and suggestions on how we can improve and what you want us to bring to you. Just share. I'm open. There's no discrimination and no judgments. I need your help. Basically is all I'm saying. Thank you guys. It's been fun. Once again, this is Barry. Peace out.